Hey everyone, today we're diving into the past with a delicious recipe from my 1960s Better Homes and Gardens cookbook. We're making a classic hamburger pie casserole. Think savory ground beef, creamy mashed potatoes, and a gooey layer of cheese on top. Stay tuned to see this retro comfort food come to life. To make this casserole, you need 1 pound of ground beef. I prefer to use ground sirloin, so that's what I'm using, but of course you can use ground chuck, ground round, or leaner ground beef if you prefer. I'm also using half a large onion, which I've chopped up into bigger pieces because I like to cook my onion along with my beef. It's just easier that way. Of course, you can use as much onion as you like, or you can omit the onion altogether if you don't like onion. And you can cook them separately if you prefer. Once you're done browning your beef, you want to drain the fat off, of course. The next step is to add 1 can of Campbell's tomato soup to the pan. I'm using the Healthy Request version, as you can see here in the video. And you also want to add 1 can of green beans to the pan as well. Of course, you want to drain the water off your green beans before you add them to the pan. I'm using French cut because that's all I have. The next step is to add your seasonings. I'm just adding a half teaspoon of salt to begin with. You want to be careful with the salt because the soup already has plenty of sodium. Even though I am using Healthy Requests, I think it was best just to start out lightly. I'm also adding 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. And I did come back and add a little bit more salt, about 1/4 teaspoon more, just to be on the safe side because I felt like it needed a little bit more salt. The next step is to spread your meat mixture evenly in a casserole dish. I've sprayed mine with cooking spray because I don't want the meat mixture to stick to the pan. And you want to use about a 9 by 13 and spread it evenly in the dish. Now, one thing that I want to mention is that I'm using instant mashed potatoes, even though in the original recipe it calls for making your own mashed potatoes. I don't know if they had instant mashed potatoes back then, but in this case, I'm going to use instant potatoes because it's easier than making my own potatoes. Now it's time to add your mashed potatoes to the top of the meat mixture, and of course you want to spread those around evenly. You want to be sure that you have enough mashed potatoes to cover the entire dish, and I think I made about 8 cups with instant mashed potatoes, and that was just enough. And now I'm putting my own little twist on this dish. I'm adding some shredded cheddar cheese, some cheese that I've shredded myself, to the top of the mashed potatoes. And it was delicious like this. Now it's time to bake this in a preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 25 to 30 minutes, or until it's done. And here's the final result. Doesn't that look delicious? As soon as this cools down a little bit, I'm going to dig into this and try it out. It's supposed to make about 6 servings, but I think I can get 8 servings out of this. And of course, just as you would expect, it was absolutely delicious. It's a very hearty, satisfying meal, sure to please everybody in your family. And it's very easy to put together. It's very easy to make. Okay, guys, that's the end of this video. Please let me know what you think down in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. And please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, because I plan to upload similar content in the future. In fact, I do plan to upload weekly.